Hey guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast, the newest, baddest, and best podcast out there. And let's get it going. Hi guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl.
My name's Asher.
And we've got a special guest this evening, guys. Very excited. Mike from Texas. You gotta love it. How you doing?
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no worries, man. You know what? I was looking at a lot of your highlights on YouTube. You're quite an exciting fighter. You got fast hands, quick movement. Just walk us through how you got, ingratiated into MMA.
Let's see. All right. Well, so I was in the military, and in the military, like where I went to college, they make all of the men go into a boxing class. So it's like part of your curriculum is we had to learn how to box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I had a few boxing matches, some fights with that, joined the wrestling team, did some wrestling tournaments, stuff like that. On my free time, I was learning jiu-jitsu. And then when I got stationed at Fort Carson, every base has like their own fight house where they like teach how all the soldiers like how to fight and stuff, right? So that's where I started getting into it more seriously and like competing in jiu-jitsu, fighting stand-up all the time and just trying to get better that way. And then once I got out of the military, moved to Texas, just started competing here. Won the state title in Texas last year in grappling. So we're on the up and up. That's all.
Exactly, man. He'd love to hear it. The sky's the limit, eh? So,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
No. So that's pretty much it. Just fighting through school all the way, different martial arts. And now in Texas, I actually am the academy manager and chief instructor for my own Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu school. So
Amazing.
Yeah, so I teach like kids ages 4 to like 16, I think is one of the oldest I have right now. And we just roll around, we punch some stuff. It's a good time.
Yeah, nice, man. And so how old are you right now?
I'm 26.
26, okay. So my next question is like, what do you, or where do you see your MMA future being? Like, do you want to continue competing? Do you want to enter into like a coaching position or like, helping other people learn MMA, or do you see yourself in the UFC in the future? Like, what's your
or Bellator
or Bellator.
Whatever your goals and aspirations are.
I'm just every night I just stare at my phone waiting for it to ring, hoping it's Dana White. Hey, do you want to fight? But yeah, I mean, obviously the goal would be to not headline, but be a part of a big organization, right? UFC, ONE FC, Bellator, something like that. And my hope has been that, I keep racking up these wins in these local tournaments, like made a name for myself in California, made a name for myself in New York where I was boxing, right? Made a name for myself in Colorado, winning all these jiu-jitsu tournaments. Texas, now I'm a state champ. It's like, Dana, what else is it going to take, man?
Exactly. I'll call him and I'll let him know. Dude, what are you doing? Dana, what are you doing?
Give me a call. I went to a UFC. I went to UFC Denver when Cowboy was fighting Masvidal, right? Back in the couple years back. And Dana White, I caught him coming down the stairs, and I was like, I'm Wild Boy. Where's my call?
Did he keep walking?
No. So we'll see. I'm just hoping, I keep making a name for myself. We'll see how big I can get. Like the mayor of the city of Houston gave me like a declaration, like saying thank you for your service to, teaching kids how to fight. And so I'm just hoping if I rack up enough accolades, maybe it'll get to the right person's ear and I'll get that phone call. So we'll see.
Wow. I just have one question. So what would be your targeted weight class? Where do you see yourself in the weight class in the UFC, for example? If you were to get put into it right now, who do you think you'd want to go after, first of all?
Oh, easy. I want Ray Borg at flyweight.
Oh, wow. That's a tough match, man.
They kind of
what's he gonna do? Out grapple me? No.
He just fought recently too, and he lost.
He probably didn't make weight for that fight either, huh?
Yeah.
No, I want Ray Borg at flyweight. I think I've been talking trash to him on Instagram for months now. I gotta shoot my shot, right? Actually, one of the fighters fighting tomorrow. What's his name? Royval. He's making his UFC debut tomorrow, and I've been trash talking him a bit too for a while.
You can put your name in the hat, right?
You gotta make some excitement. That's how you get these fights, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Definitely. So I mean, being around like the fight game, have you gotten a chance to meet other fighters in Bellator, UFC, or ONE FC?
oh yeah, I've met Mickey Gall a couple times. Oh, my cat's knocking things over. I've met Rose Namajunas, Anthony Smith, all of those guys. Let's see. I actually, when I was in Denver, when I lived in Colorado, right at Fort Carson, I would drive up to Denver like twice a week, and I would train at Bang Dwayne Ludwig's Muay Thai Academy, and like I would be just a couple mats over from TJ Dillashaw hitting the pads, you know. So
wow, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
yeah, so I just kind of kept my distance. I don't want none of that, but
Yeah,
You don't want any of that EPO, right?
no,
You don't want spraying on you. Oh man.
no comment. No
No
comment.
comment. I'm just joking. Hopefully,
Yeah,
TJ's
TJ's a great guy. TJ's a great guy. Who else was training out of there? Curtis Blades. I saw him a couple times. So yeah, but it got too expensive. I couldn't make that drive all the time. So yeah.
He's good. Curtis is a huge guy, man. Like
Curtis is a big boy. Big boy.
I don't even know how he makes the weight limit at heavyweight because he's a big dude.
That was bigger.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good. So just walk me through. So a lot of people say that you're scared to get punched in the face the first time in a fight when you're in there. As you said, you started off in the military and then they started you off in some boxing classes, right?
Yeah.
Before that, if you hadn't got punched in the face, what did it feel like that moment you received it and you're like, oh, that's not that bad. You know what I mean? I could keep going. You know what I mean?
Getting punched in the face sucks no matter no matter what. But I've actually, like a year ago, I had to get my nose fixed and they had to like fix my septum because I've been punched in the face so many times I couldn't breathe out of my nose. But that surgery went well, so I'm all good now. But getting punched in the face, man, even for the first time, it sucks. It kind of like seeing stars for a bit. For me, I like bleed real easy. So I think in like every fight I've ever had, like my nose is bleeding, but it is what it is. But yeah, getting punched in the face, wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it.
At least I hope you don't bleed as much as Nate Diaz. I don't think you're that bad. Right?
Yeah, not that bad.
Yeah, that's cool. My next question would be, obviously it seems like you're passionate about fighting, which you are. Now, do you have any issues balancing, your love for fighting versus obviously the repercussions of fighting? Do you ever have that like idea in your head, or has it ever come across?
I think that most fighters, even like younger than me, have issues with their body already. Like for me, like CBD is my best friend, right? Like icy hot on my lower back all the time. Like right now my back's messed up. Still my nose is super tender. Like I don't like things brushing up against it. So I think like, the risks, right? Like, I've had like my arm popped in jiu-jitsu tournaments before, like my ankles popped in crutches. So I think what you're getting into as a fighter, and it's just like you got to really love it to keep getting out of bed. And like, I know my whole body's sore. I can barely walk, but I got to get into the gym and get some rolls in today. That's kind of, you just got to be dedicated to it, and hopefully it pays off. And I mean, even if I don't make it huge, right? Like I still got a pretty nice collection of medals. I still got some recognition. Like it's not about making it super big. It's about like being fulfilled in yourself. And I think I've accomplished a lot, but I just want to get that Bray Borg right in the face. That's the cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, man, I'm looking at your accolades. You have a very, very good resume. Like I would be extremely proud to even have one of the things on your resume. So like the fact that you're driven, you keep going for more, you're going from different state to different state, you're winning stuff, you're consistently winning things. And the number one thing I was going to ask you, when Bruce Buffer introduced your name, like that's got to be like one of the pinnacles for a fighter, because you know what I mean?
It's actually not as cool as you think. Like
really?
That was, so I had this videographer team come down to Colorado. They filmed a little promo for me because I was like, oh, I need to get my name out there more. I'm getting kind of big in Colorado. We need to push. Now's the time to push. And so Bruce Buffer, I just reached out to him and I said, hey, this is who I am. Will you just read it in your voice? And that's what he did. So he just sent me the voice recording. So that was it.
That's still pretty cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that though any day. So it's a
Wow.
pretty sweet video. It came together pretty nice.
No, yeah, that intro video was really, really good. I was like, whoa, I'm hyped, you know? It's pretty good, man.
Then it did its job. So that's good.
No, it was a great video. That's one thing. Because I was like, oh my God, Bruce Buffer's introduced it. Yeah, I had butterflies just listening to it. I was like, imagine if you called my name. You know what I mean? Everyone goes through that emotion.
Yeah, really cool.
Sorry, I was going to ask you one question. So I don't know if you know, I'm sure you know this. In the UFC, you know, the flyweight division has gotten its fair share of scrutiny from Dana White and, you know, fans, I guess. How do you feel being a flyweight when you see, you know, people talking, you know, smack about the you know, the lower weight fighters saying they're not as exciting, and you see just Johnson traded to ONE FC. So like, what's your opinion on the flyweight division?
I mean, DJ's the GOAT to me, right? And then they got rid of him and Cejudo took over, and then Cejudo just retired. So everyone's kind of like, where's the flyweight division going to go? And I think it just needs some excitement, right? I mean, you got, like, hate to say it, Ray Borg never makes weight, right? You got DJ's gone, Cejudo quit, and he wasn't even going to defend at flyweight anyways, right? So you just need, like, some fresh blood, right? Some exciting people, right? Where's my
Hey Dana, where you at? Call me.
And I mean, like, the other guys in flyweight, like Tim Elliott, he's a veteran. He's been in there for a long time. Like, he might have some fight of the night bonuses, but you just need some fresh faces. That's what's going to save the division, right? Because everyone was like hoping that Cejudo would save it, and then he left, you know? So we just need some fresh blood, because I don't even think Bellator has a flyweight division. I think ONE FC has a flyweight division, but the UFC's is kind of dying unless we can get a star in there, right? So
yeah, and you know what the interesting thing is, Mike? It's never a boring fight. That's the thing. I don't understand the scrutiny that comes with the flyweight division. If you guys are fast, you're accurate, you're always moving around. You're not sluggish. It's not the second round and you're huffing and puffing and you can barely move, right? So explain the frustrations of hearing the criticism facing the flyweight division.
I mean, like, Mighty Mouse and the Dodson fight, like, you could barely see what was going on. Those two guys were so fast, right? Like, saying that flyweights aren't exciting, like, I can hit pretty hard, man. I'm sure a lot of those flyweights can hit pretty hard too. Like, you see flyweights get knocked out all the time. So I don't know, like, they're just saying, oh, it's always going to decision. It's not exciting, but, like, flyweights don't get tired, right? Like, our cardio is crazy. If you want, like, an exciting fight, I would think you would want to watch the flyweight fights. Like, even in the females, right? You got, like, Joanna and Rose. Like, they're exciting, right? So if the women are exciting, so should the men, like, you know? So
yeah, but and just to touch on it, a quick side note, did you watch Weili versus Joanna?
Yeah, I did. That was insane.
I've never seen anyone's face. You fight. Have you ever seen anyone's face look that bad?
No. That was bad.
That was pretty bad.
Her coach should have thrown in the towel. That's just my opinion. If you have something that big in the front of your forehead.
I actually disagree. I don't think the coach should have thrown in the towel, because it wasn't necessarily like she was battered. No. So, you know, people get leg kicked. I don't know. We can get your opinion on this, but, you know, people get leg kicked or and then they get a hematoma just from one kick, right? It happens, right? You can get hit just in a weird way where your body reacts and it just swells. So it's not necessarily that she did take a beating, but it's not like it was a prolonged beating where, like, it was like the Anthony Smith fight, right? Or Ferguson, where it's like, please throw in the towel.
Yeah, prolonged beating, man. She was taking headshots the whole fight.
Yeah, but did you see Weili Zhang too? Like, it was a competitive
Mike,
fight.
I'm so sorry you have to hear this, Mike, but this is
No, you're fine. But see, the point is that flyweights are exciting, right? So
exactly
women's division, men's division.
Yeah,
it's a very competitive fight.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, my next question for you is, who is your idol? Like, who do you look up to? It doesn't have to be in the UFC, could be in a different organization, because, you know, DJ is not there anymore. But, like, when you started fighting or when you started watching UFC and you said, like, this is the guy. This is the guy. If I was like if I could fight just like him,
yeah,
I would have made it. Who is that guy?
It's funny and sad, because my favorite fighter for a long time was Chad Mendes, and then he popped hot, and then I was like, And then I was like, TJ Dillashaw is my new boy. And then TJ popped. And then it's Dominic Cruz because he beat TJ. So I was like, oh, and watching Dominic fight is insane, man. That's beautiful right there.
Right.
And I'm actually taking like his footwork course right now. So yeah, it's got to be probably Dominic Cruz right now. I just wish he was more active. That's it.
Yeah, his career has been blighted with injuries, and I think okay. So now, based off of what you just said, if you were to fight in the UFC, what approach would you take? Are you more so let me beat this guy up over 3 rounds, or are you like, I'm gonna take your head off in the first round? I'm gonna evade all your movements and counter strike? Like, what would be your initial approach the moment you get your chance? Because I believe it. I believe you will get your chance. Based off of the trajectory of the path of where you're going, you keep getting medals and stuff. It's only a matter of time till they hear your name. So when you do get to that phase in your life, are you going to be a knockout artist to get the highlight reels, or are you going to be like, I'm going to beat you up like Colby Covington for 5 rounds? Like, what approach do you think is going to be best suited to you and your physical capabilities?
Yeah, I think that my specialty is probably in the ground game. Like, I've Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Like, I'm on the way. I'm not the best grappler, but I feel like my skills against people my weight and my size. And I mean, I'm tall for a flyweight. I'm 5'11", right? And most flyweights are like 5'4", 5'5", So Cejudo's a small dude. DJ's a small dude. So, I mean, like, I'm not too bad standing up either. Don't get me wrong. So if like, I just kind of want to lure someone into a sense of false confidence where they're like, oh, maybe I'll try and take this guy down. And then it's a wrap, so.
Yeah. So now, more so in the jiu-jitsu, Nick, what happened to you the first time you attended a jiu-jitsu class, and how many times did you get tapped out before you tapped someone else out?
Oh, dude, I'm still getting tapped out today. I train some of the time. I need to get back in the gym actually at Gracie Humaida Conroe out here in North Houston, and that gym is like the competition team, like a bunch of killers out there, man. Like. And I'm the smallest guy in there, and I'm just getting wrecked every single, I don't think I've tapped out anyone in there,
wow.
ever. I'm just getting smashed. But, I mean, it's good learning to get off the court. I think it's good. I'm getting to fight people bigger than me, so that makes me a more defensive grappler and helps me be more technical because I got to be able to figure out how to fight a bigger opponent, which makes me better at fighting guys my size whenever that happens, right? So, yeah, just jiu-jitsu it's a good workout, and it humbles you, man. Like you were saying, the first time I ever decided to do jiu-jitsu was actually at a UFC gym in California, and like outside of Los Angeles, white belt, whatever, rolling around. It was good. It humbles you real quick. You got to leave your ego at the door, because you'll have like a 4 foot tall, like 95-pound girl like climb you like a tree and choke you out, and you're like, what just happened? Like, I thought I was strong, but it teaches you definitely how to use your body and how to manipulate and control other people on the ground. So jiu-jitsu is pretty good, but getting that first tap, man, like that's a good feeling too. You just got to not be too cocky because there's a whole ocean of sharks just ready to tear you down. So
I have a question for you. So as a fighter, like, obviously, I'm assuming the perception around your family and friends when you wanted to get into fighting was a little rough. I don't think most fighters, their parents or family members or friends would say, "Yeah, man, go for it. You should get it done and stuff." So, did you have any? Did you have any? Not resentment. Did you have any for people telling you not to do it, or did you
pushback?
Pushback is the word. Yeah. Did you have any pushback?
I mean, most of my friends, like my coworkers, they're all into martial arts too. So it's more so like my family, like my mom, like, oh, I don't want to watch your fights. Like, what if you get hurt? Like my baby. But my dad's like, yeah, send me a video. Like, let's see how you did.
Papa.
And my girl comes and she supports me. She watched me win the Texas State Championship in grappling. So I've got a pretty good support system. I mean, people know that it's what I love to do. I mean, like my whole online persona is based around fighting, and I mean, it's my job too, teaching it. So I think overall it's pretty, I'm just surrounded by supportive people. Yeah.
Honestly, that's amazing. The fact that you're able to do something that you love and you're, going at it full time, I think I think that's awesome. A lot of people, they, you know, are forced to do something that they went to school for, and that's what everybody's doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Way of life. But obviously, from a young age, you seem to have liked this, and you've been going at it full steam ahead. So, congrats, man.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. Yeah.
Now, I have one question for you. You've learned various martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, grappling. What do you think is the best base for someone who wants to get into martial arts? Like, if I want to become a fighter, what would be your best piece of advice to me? Saying, learn this first, then this, then this.
I'd say you got to start with either like wrestling or jiu-jitsu first, right? Because in the military, my job was I was a military police officer, right? So we had all these studies, and we found out that like most street altercations, like almost all of them, end on the ground, right? Like someone is going to get taken to the ground, or someone's going to get knocked to the ground, and so you should know how to defend yourself and fight from the ground. I mean, if that's where you're most likely to end up, like you should know how to handle yourself there. So I would say like have a solid wrestling base, and then you can start building up with striking. So like karate, taekwondo, boxing, Muay Thai is great, right? Knees and elbows, that kind of like real life defense stuff is going to transfer like great into the cage or the ring or something like that. But I say first you got to be great on the ground, and that's going to help your cardio too. So.
Yeah, and then a follow-up to that, what is the most tiring fighting style to fight against? Is it a karate style? He's got his hands low, so you don't know what's coming. Is it a Muay Thai because he's going to blast you with leg kicks? Like, what is the trickiest, you know what I mean? Like, what's the hardest puzzle you've had to solve in the octagon or the ring?
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be jiu-jitsu too, because like if you're striking someone, you're standing up, like you're just looking for your shot and you're just trying to land it, right? Like you're picking your shot. So you're not using a whole lot of energy. You're not just throwing everything you have. But like on the ground, it's constantly like a battle for position, and you're just like grinding, getting tired, trying to use your brain and your body. Like, what can I do with this arm? Where is it going next? Like, I got to be 2 steps ahead. So it's like a mental and a physical workout, like rolling around on the ground with someone. So that's tough.
So another follow-up to that, if you have to think 2 steps ahead, right, how does it work? Do you prefer being on the bottom or the top? Because some people like fighting off their back versus being on top. What do you prefer?
Yeah, I like fighting off my back. I've got a pretty nasty Kimura. So
Pretty nasty.
pretty nasty Kimura. Yeah, no, I'll fight off my back all day. That's pretty good. And if you have someone in your guard, like you still control their posture and their distance from you. So it's not like someone's going to be beating on you if they're on top, if you've got like good defense in your jiu-jitsu game.
So like a full guard, half guard, like what's your preferred?
Yeah, full guard for sure. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned the Kimura, because I actually taught him how to do a Kimura. I've been to
There you go.
classes. Like, Daryl, this is how you do it. You put your hand here, you do that, you angle back. He's like, okay, I got it. Now he does it to me all the time. So
that's my bread and butter right there.
Nice. So I think we can kind of wrap this portion up of the interview. Any last questions, Daryl?
No, Mike, do you have any questions for us?
No, just happy to be chatting with you guys. This is great.
You know, this is great. And I have to say, when we started this page and this channel and this podcast, we just have such a big love for fighting. And the fact that you reached out and you know, I assume people have reached out to you through social media, and the vindicating feeling of having someone say, hey man, I like what you're doing. As soon as I checked out your page, I loved what I saw, because I love fighting. I love everything. I watched your videos, your promo videos. I saw your recognitions. And from our end, having someone like you reach out to us it makes our whole week, if not the whole month, if not the whole day, right? So we just wanted to thank you so much.
Oh, no, you guys, I appreciate it a ton too. So
yeah, no, like Daryl said, I'm just gonna echo what he said. You're the first guest that we've actually had on this podcast, and not just the first guest, the first specialized guest, because you know what you're talking about. You're out there, you're doing it, you've had competitions and stuff like that. So you're legitimizing us, which is great, man. And yeah, thank you very much for your time, and we're looking forward to doing the preview with you.
yeah, let's talk some fights.
Yeah, brother. All right, thank you.